A very good morning to you and welcome to the morning show and newspaper review for the 5th of July 2023. My name is Moses and this is Prime Media Studio. Without further ado, we'll be moving on to the Vanguard as usual. The Vanguard online newspaper outlet says the top news on Vanguard says 10th National Assembly sitting. It said APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio Abbas. APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio and Abbas. That you can find on the top news of Vanguard newspaper. And also at the top left of this Vanguard, it says Lagos Eze Ndigbo's trial begins today. Lagos Eze Ndigbo's trial begins today. And also below that, you can find UTME controversy. We are probing Mesoma's result. JAMB and Anambra government says that UTME on UTME controversy says we are probing Mesoma's result. JAMB and Anambra government says. Now, the other news following, it said it was my first UTME 2023. JAMB highest scorer, 16-year-old Kamsio Chukwu reviews strategy. Also, big task for Tinubu on entrepreneurship and startups. Big task for Tinubu on entrepreneurship and startups. That following on full subsidies, small businesses suffer losses. Asbon says small businesses are suffering losses. And also, federal government reiterate commitments to grow MES to stimulate domestic investment. Medium-scale businesses to stimulate domestic investment. U.S. School honors Nigerian Achunike Okafor for record-shattering grade. That's a plus on the U.S. Also, now that big story on the 10th National Assembly says days after the inauguration of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, they are now embroiled in a tussle with the leadership of their party, the All Progressive Congress, APC. Now, moving on to Punch. This morning, it says, still on the top news for 5th of July 2023, on that Punch, the top story there, it says, principal officers, APC protest selection, National Assembly members back Akpabio and Abbas. National Assembly members back Akpabio and Abbas because of the tussle in their internal party. News following Chebenitego says NNPC fails to launch IPO. NNPC fails to launch IPO. We can also find there on Punch, it says APC governors wade into Adamu, NASS presiding officers feud. NAS presiding officers feud. Lawyers' absence stalls Lagos Eze Ndigbo's terrorism trial. Lawyers' absence stalls Lagos Eze Ndigbo's terrorism trial. And also you can find that father-daughter arrested for Ondo cleric's abduction. And father and daughter arrested for Ondo cleric's abduction. You can also find on the right-hand side of Punch says, Lagos businessman sent widow's nude photos to church WhatsApp group. Lagos businessman sent widows nude photos to church WhatsApp group. And also following that news, fraudsters hack 1,000 accounts using BVN linked numbers. Few fraudsters hack 1,000 accounts using BVN linked numbers. And that's on Metro Plus. And also investors lose 671 billion naira as equities tumble. Investors lose 671 billion naira as equities tumble. That you can also find on Punch. Customs seize 3 billion naira smuggled rice, arrest 344 smugglers. Customs seize 3 billion naira, smuggled rice, arrest 344 smugglers. And the last one on Punch there, it's on Tribuna. It says Tinubu tenders Chicago varsity admission letter and other results. Tinubu tenders Chicago varsity admission letter and others. All of those you can find on Punch News for the 5th of July 2023. Now let us go move on to The Nation. The Nation news, it says the top story there says presidency governors back Bamidele, Ndume, and Umahi. Presidency and governors back Bamidele, Ndume, and Umahi. That was what what is trending. That's 3 hours ago. It says critical stakeholders consulted. Says Senate leader how majority minority principal officers were picked. The president said all Progressive Congress governors are in support of these principal officers of the National Assembly nomination. And also you can find that president's policies excite Bank of America. President's policies excite Bank of America. You can also find that on The Nation. Tinubu's witnesses begin oral testimony at tribunal. Excuse me, beg your pardon. Tinubu's witnesses begin oral testimony at tribunal. That's on Nation. Row grows over alleged forgery of JAMB results. Row grows over alleged forgery of JAMB results. That you can also find on The Nation newspaper. Let's move on to Channels. Channels news says result controversy. That's the top news on Channels. It's unfair, not my fault. Mmesoma sales on JAMB 3-year ban. It's unfair and not my fault. Mmesoma sales on JAMB 3-year ban. On Tuesday, JAMB insisted that her result is patently rather fake, saying it had withdrawn a result and consequently barred her from writing the examination for the next 3 years. Recall that we talked about this yesterday on this show, and we're still having it on this show this morning because the news is really, really trending, and people are in support of Mmesoma. Some people are in support of JAMB, but the fault, they said it came from JAMB, not the girl. Now, court admits Tinubu's Chicago University education credentials. Court admits Chicago University education credentials. National Assembly principal officers announced by Akpabio Abbas, not from APC. Adamu says it's not from APC. PDP, Adebitu presents 8,000 exhibits against Abiodun's re-election. Adebitu presents 8,000 exhibits against Abiodun's re-election. We're excited with Tinubu's government direction, Bank of America says. We're excited with Tinubu's government direction, Bank of America, that's BOA, is saying. INEC calls witnesses, closes defense in LP's petition. INEC calls witnesses and closes petition, closes defense rather, in LP's petition. And that you can find on the Channels television, Channels news, and the outlets rather, and you could find online. Now we're moving to Daily Post. Daily Post, we have a lot of news here. Daily Post says a mental illness psychiatrist clerics demystify claims of spiritual courses. Demystify claim. Let's go to the screen so we see this news. Nigerian newspapers, 10 things you need to know this Wednesday. And that's on it. JAMB versus Mmesoma, controversy rages over alleged fake results that we found on other news platforms. We also find in here. Mental illness, psychiatrists, clerics demystify claims of spiritual courses. JAMB versus Mmesoma, that's trending news. Khan demands justice as 40-year-old man Hassan Yahaya rapes woman in Kaduna church. Khan demands justice as 40-year-old man Hassan Yahaya rapes woman in Kaduna church. All of that you can find on the Daily Post. Now let's move on to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says Nigeria Daily. PDP frowns at National Assembly leaders, calls for re-examination. PDP frowns at assembly leaders calls for re-examination. The secret behind my success, UTME's authentic highest scorer speaks. The secret behind my success, UTME's authentic highest scorer speaks. Now on the top story there, it says National Assembly crack in APC as Adamo rejects Bamidele, Ndume, and other principal officers. Crack in APC as Adamo rejects Bamidele, Ndume, and other principal officers. Uzodinma said APC chairman never said they are on their own. The National Assembly leadership belongs to a great party, and that's it. That's on Daily Trust's top story. You can also find other news like on Hajj, over 751 million food products supplied to pilgrims in holy sites, and that's you can also find on Daily Trust. Prophet's Mosque receives 4.25 million visitors in a week. 4 million visitors in a week. YFG should allow Niger Delta control their resources. Diri says, that's the present governor of Delta State, says YFG should allow Niger Delta control the resources. That's from Diri. 19-year-old, 2 others nabbed over kidnap of Ondo Imam. 19 years old and 2 others nabbed over kidnap of Ondo Imam. Zao Emirates. Okay, so I would like to pronounce this. Zozo Emirates suspends district head. Zozo Emirates suspends district head. That you can find on Daily Trust. Now let's move on to Premium Times. The Premium Times, you can find only 3 top stories. Their court bars Nigerian government from deducting 6 billion naira from Anambra's allocations. Court bars Nigerian government from deducting 16 billion naira from Anambra's allocations. And also on the right, top right of that, you say protesters raise police vehicle in Katsina. Protesters raise police vehicle in Katsina. And also on Senate, says Senate probes non-completion of East-West Road of Summon Niger Delta. Let me take that again. Senate probes non-completion of East-West Road to summon Niger Delta Petroleum Resources Works Minister. That's it on Premium Times. And that's it on all of it. You can find all of those news on different outlets. You can find on Vanguard, you can find on Punch, you can find on Nation, you can find on Channels, you can find on Daily Post, you can find on Daily Trust. You can also find on Premium Times and all other works, all other news outlets. Now, this is the news headlines, newspaper review for the 5th of July, 2023. And you can join us in the next hour for the top stories, where we'll pick one of it and then discuss it. This is Prime Media Studio, and this is a newspaper review for the 5th of July 2023. And this is where we'll call it a stop, because in the next hour we'll be giving you breaking news and top stories. That's the big morning show. That's the big morning show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing to our channels. And thank you for keeping in touch with us. My name is Moses, and I'll see you in the next hour. Don't go away.